So they polled, so this is crazy. The voters in Virginia are having the worst voter remorse that we've ever seen. Right? And this is a warning to America. I want you guys to listen to me. America, hear me. The Democrats are liars. They run as moderates. She ran as a moderate. That's their game plan for 2028. Is they're going to probably try to make Gavin Newsom a moderate. They're going to try to make it like they're going back to moderacy, and then they're going to flip. That's what they did in Virginia. They ran this CIA operative, said she was a moderate white woman who was going to lead for both Republicans, and she was going to be, her poll numbers are worse than any Virginia governor in recent history. Her poll numbers are worse than Glenn Youngkin, who was a Republican and a governor Republican in a blue state, because she lied to the people. She got there. She's gerrymandering. She lied about that. She's raised taxes 50%. She's turned the tax code in Virginia into California. She's taking the guns away from students and young people and gun owners. And Virginia's a big gun owning state. She promised the voters of Virginia that she would not take their guns away. She said, I have a gun, and she passed some of the most strict gun laws. It's just insane what she's turning Virginia into. She's completely turned Virginia into California 2.0. And that's what they do. That's what Democrats do. They are liars. That's what the lady did in New Jersey. She's also lied. They run as moderates. They try to paint these white candidates as moderates, and then they govern like socialist Marxists. Why? Because they are socialist Marxists. And that's why Republicans need to wake up and stop fighting each other. Need to wake up and smell the roses and unite and understand that our greatest enemy is not each other. It's the Democrats. They are our greatest enemy. These radical Marxists that want to take our guns away, take our free speech away, and want to destroy our country and turn it into Cuba, Venezuela, or Canada.
Salutations. Glad to be back on your air. I'll be your host, Navigator, here to bring you some interesting news today. Apparently, the voters of Virginia have started to realize that, yeah, they were lied to, which is true, yeah. If you didn't know, there was an election in Virginia where the Democrats ran a white liberal woman, and she lied to all her constituents, saying that she would be a moderate, that she wouldn't do this, this, and this. But of course it was a lie. And it's one thing when a politician promises something but doesn't do it. It's another when you lie about what you truly believe in, and then when you get into office, you do the completely opposite thing. And because of that, she is the worst. Her polling show that she's the worst governor of the state, which, she completely lied. She's making it California 2.0. In this today's episode, I'm going to show you basically 3 things that she lied about that had to do with non-citizens, guns, and high taxes. Because that's all she wants to do. She wants to take away your guns so you can't defend yourselves. She wants to bring in non-citizens so they can vote for Democrats and so they can have them for the citizens. And they want to take away your guns so you're defenseless, just like all communist states do. They don't want you to rebel against the government or her. But because of all the damage she did, yeah, Democrats lost that state. Yeah, they lost it. Because, yeah, they didn't have enough time for Stockholm Syndrome to stick in like in California or New York. Alright, without further ado.
Now, after a few months, is 47%.
Wow.
Or disapproval is 46, approval is 47, which is not normal after 3 months in that area.
Well, because Governor Youngkin left with a 54%.
It's because the old governor actually worked for the people, and yeah, this one did nothing. She lied, and as soon as she got in there, she showed the people who voted for her who she really cared about, which is communists, Marxists, non-citizens, and anyone who hates America.
Approval rating, but he was term limited. He can only have one term, and so there's really no comparison.
That was for the same period, not even when he left.
Exactly. So it's like, when you lie to the voters and you say that you're going to be a moderate and you go in there, they're going to be a little upset about this. She's also wants a corporate tax rate. She didn't talk about that on the campaign trail.
Like, she didn't believe anything she said when she was running. As soon as she got in, she wants to increase your taxes, bring in as many non-citizens as possible that they can vote for her, and yeah, take your guns.
She's back on this climate.
Anyone who voted for this woman thinking that she'll be a moderate, you got fooled. You got fooled. Like, I'm just gonna say it. There's no such thing as a moderate Democrat anymore, especially if they're a white liberal woman.
Nonsense as well. And Mikey Sherrill as well doesn't want to work for ICE, climate change, tax the rich as well, and as a result, those businesses are now moving out of Virginia.
California 2.0, everybody.
So can somebody please explain something to me? What the fuck is going on with energy in Virginia? Because something to me is just not making sense. Every single electric bill I'm getting is looking like this. This is how all my electric bills are looking. How is it humanly possible that I was using 1,500 and less kilowatts every single month in 2025, 2024, and 2023, but somehow I'm using 5,000 kilowatts of energy now in 5,000, 4,000, 4,000, 4,000 the last 4 months? Something doesn't make sense, bro. And every time I call Dominion Energy, they tell me that I'm tripping. I need somebody to help me understand how a human can use 5,000 kilowatts when I'm never home. Never home. I don't use TV. I don't use heat. I don't understand.
A Virginia mom is speaking out over a statewide policy that allowed for a 19-year-old illegal immigrant from El Salvador to be a student at her daughter's high school, where he is now accused of groping girls in the hallways between classes. Israel Flores Ortiz entered the country illegally 2 years ago under Joe Biden. And even though he's 19 years old, which is older than the average high school graduate, he was still enrolled as a student.
Yeah, they don't care. Yeah, I'm going to be honest. If you're a parent in a blue state, you should know that Democrats, they don't really care what happened to your kids. They need these people in here so they can vote for them and for the census. Yeah, it comes non-citizens first, Americans last, always.
And in the state of Virginia, that is completely legal. Virginia public schools have a policy for students from other countries. And that policy reads in part, quote, if an English learner student is enrolled in a Virginia public school and turns 22 during that school year, that student may continue through the end.
You hear that? You hear that? It has nothing to do. This has nothing to do with Americans. This is for non-Americans.
Of that school year.
Virginians, you guys are you're screwed. You are screwed. You're going to get high taxes, high crime, and they're going to keep increasing the taxes, and they will never stop the crime because Marxists need the crime. And you're going to run out of money.
Now, to put that into perspective, high school freshmen are typically between the ages of 14 and 15. So theoretically, this man could have stayed in the Virginia public school system until he was 22 years old, with people almost a decade younger than him. Now, 22 is older than most college graduates. And here's one mom's take.
It's terrifying as a parent because when I send my daughters to school, I think they're safe in the care of the school. And in this case, they absolutely were not safe. And I don't know what parent wouldn't be completely distraught at the idea that their daughters could be getting sexually battered while they're changing classes. This is a public.
They don't care. Like, remember the trans thing? They forced young girls to be in locker rooms and change in front of boys just because they said they were girls. And because they were afraid of being called transphobic. Democrats don't care about children.
Safety issue. This is a problem for every single parent in the school, whether you're a Democrat, whether you're an independent, or whether you're a Republican. This is a public safety issue, and every single parent's daughters are at risk because of this policy.
Then stop voting Democrat. Like, why would you're going to keep getting these policies from Democrats, and they're going more farther left, so it's just going to get worse.
Fairfax County Public Schools did not return a Monday request for comment, but did express that safety of their students and staff, quote, remains a top priority.
Also, homeschool your kids. I mean, seriously, Christ. Okay,
On Thursday, Republican lawmakers in Richmond criticized Democratic colleagues in the state Senate for prioritizing redistricting to gain more seats in Congress.
Something else you lied about.
Instead of matters they believe hit closer to home for average Virginians.
Instead of us focusing on affordability Instead of us focusing on making sure Virginians keep money in their pocket.
Democrats don't want to focus on affordability. It's crazy that everyone forget. They're the ones who made it unaffordable during the Biden years. All that is going to do is tax.
The first bill that's going to the governor's desk, the first bill the governor's going to sign is going to be one of a partisan gerrymander.
In response, Democratic Senate Leader Scott Surville blamed cost of living issues on the White House.
We want to talk about affordability.
They're going to blame Trump for everything that goes on. Like, I swear to Christ, if there's a mudslide that happened in their own state, they're going to blame Trump. Like, what are they going to blame when Trump's gone? God, J.D. Vance, Marco Rubio? Virginians, you really should. I know it's, oh my God. You were lied to. I can't even say you were tricked. You were just playing out. They lied to your face and spit in it.
Let's talk about tariffs. Because right now, Congress hasn't done a damn thing to stand up to what's going on across the river on tariffs.
Right now, Virginia has a $2.7 billion surplus.
I love the tariffs. Yeah, that's going to be gone fast. They're going to spend it on non-citizens and Marxist nonsense. And they're going to increase your taxes.
So 7 News is asking Democratic leadership why propose new taxes and where would that money go? No answers yet. But I was able to find some spending proposals circulating in the Capitol. Those ideas range from raising teacher pay, which always gets a lot of support, to lifting the cap on how much tax money cities and counties can give.
It's not going to go to anything good. It's going to go to other stuff. And Virginia is going to turn to California. It's going to collapse. It's going to get dirty, nasty, dangerous.
Not loan, give to local government employees so they can buy a house. Delegate Dan Helmer from Fairfax County says those housing grants are important for recruiting good people.
In our community, my constituents, those who work for government, too often, they can afford to live in our community.
For the second day in a row, I've been asking for comment from Democratic leaders in the House and Senate, along with Governor Abigail Spanberger, about their thoughts on these tax proposals. We have not received a response, but we will keep on trying.
Yeah, they're not going to go in because they want the taxes. Democrats cannot do anything without taking other people's money. Virginians, you basically elected a woman who's just going to steal your money. And of course, we couldn't finish this with Democrats trying to take people's guns. Look at this. Virginia voters are shocked that Democrats are selecting themselves from gun control laws that they put in 30 new gun laws, but they put in a law saying that they don't have to do it. Rules for thee, not for me. That's what Democrats are about. Again, this was a Trojan horse. They're going to do the same in the midterms.
Madam President, I wish the senator from Eastern Fairfax could hear himself. Because we think this job has gotten dangerous in the last couple of years. Well, how many Virginians out there believe that they're in a situation where they need to protect themselves? But yet,
a lot, but they don't care. One thing you need to learn about communism and Marxism. The main thing is they want to take away their people's right to protect themselves because what they really want to do is be tyrants, which this is what it is, this tyranny. So when the peasants won't able to defend themselves for when it happens. Just look at Iran. Like, that's why.
Yet we don't listen to them. Well, not me, but this body's not going to listen to them because they think they need to have this protection. We're going to carve something out for General Assembly members. That to me is beyond the pale. General Assembly. We are a citizen legislature. We are citizens just like everybody else. We go back home. We interact with their constituents. We're a part of the community.
Democrats hate their constituents. Just look at every blue city. Chicago. Look at New York right now.
We are no better than anybody else. And we should never vote for a bill that gives us a special privilege over any other citizen.
Senator from Western.
Socialists don't believe that, but it's a good thing. Look at this. Because of the gun rights activists in Virginia are now handing out 30 rounds of AR-15 magazines in defiance of the Democrats passing of over 30. See that? 30. Yeah, and she said she wasn't going to do that. Again, lied. new gun control measures, including a ban on magazines exceeding 10 rounds. So, yeah, they're fighting back, but I like this. Yeah, they're pissed. And I'm just going to say this. They're definitely going to try this out in the midterms, where they will bring in a bunch of white people, probably white men pretending to be Christians, and they're going to run as moderates, but that is a Trojan horse. You need to remember that. They're just going to lie. Look at New York. Like, what has that? Yeah, but yeah. In this, I'll have to go through the Bible. Satan tempts Jesus. Then Jesus began, filled with the Holy Spirit, returned from the Jordan, and was led by a spirit into the wilderness, being tempted for 40 days by the devil. And in those days he ate nothing, and afterwards, when they had ended, he was hungry. And the devil said to him, "If you are the Son of God, command this stone to become bread." But Jesus answered him, saying, "It is written, a man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word of God." Thank you. This has been the Navigator Podcast. I have been your host, Navigator. Please come back.